Hello there and welcome to CNR Extra on CCTV, coming to you live from our studios at number 5, Ola Hanson Lane, Tesano, Accra. My name is Lartey. Coming up, a pro-NDC youth group in Tamale bags on a demonstration and petitions national leadership to reverse the announced changes to the party's leadership in parliament.
The leaders of NDC today do not know their assets. Honorable Haruna Idris is no doubt a major asset to the NDC party, who must not be sidelined for any individual gain or personal score settling. The NDC party.
Local footwear manufacturers who fell victim to a fire outbreak in Kumasi Central Market in October 2022 appealed to authorities for urgent financial support.
Burkina, Mali, Omunina Bahabe Fanyoma, and there's a Juma Yeno and a Juma Cassia. Nti stamping for any aban say omumra yen stab meboaye omufes kamasi adwuma na adwuma ntimi entumpo.
And fearing for their lives and that of children, users of Bono Regional Hospital Traffic Light Road in Sunyani call for a section of the road which has been dangerously exposed by erosion to be fixed.
Nti sabi yesre MC ne Ghana paying for omwe we nye Yemenika, but I be an amina bra, or no, now one level Sunamo now, dear.
And still to come on CNR Extra, worried about the poor performance of BEC candidates in the last 2 years, the Goma West Education Directorate in the Central Region moves to address the teacher deficit in that district.
We are now more than 450 now teachers that has left the district. And we have seen that is affecting the district a lot, because previously, every year, their BEC results, they move a bit higher.
CNR Extra is live on CCTV. It's an interactive show, and you can join us with your contributions, comments, and suggestions via WhatsApp line 0204 447033. And you can join us as we stream on YouTube on CityTube. Hanson, good morning.
Good morning, Philip.
It's a brand new week.
Yeah, it's a brand new week.
One day more to sack January.
Well, it's been a long one, you know.
Yes.
It's been a good weekend. I'm hoping for a good week. I mean, at least, but for the Black Galaxies going out of the Chan tournament. But is
January will go away.
Whether January likes it or not,
it has to go out.
It will go.
Exactly. So on that note, let's bring you the very first story. Let's go to the Ashanti region. It's rather a very sad story though, but more than 20 occupants of a residential apartment at Kwadoso incident that occurred there over the weekend. Let's bring you that insert.
More than 20 occupants of a residential apartment in Kwadoso vehicles were burnt. Correspondent Hafiz Tijani was there for us and has come through with this report. Hafiz, what more can you tell us?
The residential apartment has since been locked after Saturday's fire that gutted properties, including 5 vehicles. Bringing the situation under control. Locations as fire officers continue with their investigations into the incident. Will tell us what he saw upon reaching this place.
The fire started yesterday around 9 a.m. in the morning, but I went to town. I came around 12 p.m. The house was burning all burnt. And the Ghana Fire Service, they brought in about 8 tankers to quench the fire. And the family and the landlord and the rest in the house, they've all left to different locations. And it's rather unfortunate, a very sad situation that we have on hand here. We are pleading to the government and to other agencies to come in and support our brother who has lost his house and down. And it's very sad. A whole lot of properties, and we hope everything will turn around, and we are hoping for the best. We are hoping for the best. Thank you.
Residents and family members who are hearing this for the first time are coming around to catch a glimpse of what has happened, and for now, fire officers, we are told, are also investigating this matter. Hafiz Tijani.
Because the last time Hafiz reported on the incident that occurred at Agyemang or something, an area where the police officer and the wife and the 3-month-old baby died as a result of the fire incident. He indicated that that was the third fire situation occurring within that week. It looks like it's not ending anytime soon. What is happening there?
The Ashanti Regional Fire Service is 2023 in January. And January is not over yet. 98 fire incidents and about 3 deaths have been reported as a result of these fire incidents. And just about a week ago, lost their lives as a result of a fire incident. I think it's becoming a lot, and for the past 3 months, I'll say that issues of fire outbreaks have taken over as one of the major issues that we've reported on as far as the Ashanti region is concerned. And I think that it is time we stop seeing these incidents as isolated cases and escalate the matter, perhaps make not pockets of investigations into these singular cases, but a full-scale investigation. Let us understand, are these fire outbreaks linked in any way to one another, or what system is causing is coming from?
Yeah.
I mean, but if you compare the number of lives we've lost to COVID, and you compare the number of lives we lose year in, year out
because of
fire outbreaks, I think that it deserves the same attention, if not more, that we've given to COVID as a people and to other issues that we've found them to be troubling. And we need to work hard towards it, because you see, if a family loses property, if it is their own house, they will not have to be catering for the cost of renting again.
And in this day and age, how many people may have insured their houses that at the end of the day, when there is a fire outbreak, these insurance companies can come to their aid? And even from what just happened, what happened at the Kwadaso issue, you can tell the number of vehicles in the house. fire.
People struggle as much as possible to make properties in this country, and we know how difficult it is, most especially when it comes to buildings. The sort of struggle you have to go through before you can put up your building, through disputes over land, cost of building,
the materials and all
cost
that.
of material,
Labor and all that
only
before.
for a fire outbreak to make you
before they are able to build.
Their working time before they're able to build. So I think that we should escalate it as a people. Do a full-scale investigation and understand what exactly the problem is.
It's a very sad situation. What happened to the police officer, the wife, and the baby happened at Apromase in the Ashanti region, and they were buried over the weekend. But that of the Kwadaso issue is also a very fire service often brings out whenever there is an investigation. What's called away from the fire situation, because were victims of a similar fire, but then in the Kumasi Central Market want some financial support from government. So let's bring you that insight.
Local footwear manufacturers who were victims of a fire outbreak at the of 2022 are appealing for businesses. The victims say they had to resort to institutions
where local footwear is manufactured. The report on the incident. The leadership of the footwear manufacturers says most of the victims are still struggling due to the fire incident. The leadership of the footwear manufacturers appealed for Samuel Pine visited the victims.
Enkura etwe yenwonsia te se Cote d'Ivoire, Liberia, Togo, Niger, Sierra Leone, Burkina, Mali. Omo nyina ba ha be fa nyoma. Nje se adwuma ye no ana e adwuma kese. Nti esra mpanimfo ene aban se omo mra yen sra ban meboa ye. Omo fesika mese adwuma mu na adwuma no ntimi entumpon.
Mr. Boachi Entry assured the victims of his support.
Diene mungina bishia. Mema meyo ne konsozi fodi ina ishia. Na require the first of boam. Na medama sesu se eba ya moa amodu mahon the moment maswati the
fighters when accessing fire scenes during outbreaks. Kumasi Mayor Samuel Pine
I believe there will be the need to relocate some of these traders. There are certain aspects of for the woodworking place. And as you know, when we came, even the chairman of the association put it forward that if we can get a place, another shoe market. So we are looking at it, and definitely our next management meeting, I'll table it for it's congested, the development, all those structures.
Service in
At the Kumasi Central Market and City Authority. Trend. Hafiz Tijani, City News, Kumasi Central Market, Ashanti Region.
Of course, the City Authority and also the Ghana National Fire Service has stated that they are going to work on it, but the issue now is how soon will they be working on it, because we can't wait for a very long time for the working on it. Education, one, is needed, because if you are in your house and maybe where you place your cylinder full with gas, and where you've placed it, how you channel it into your room, how you cook, a number of things that bring about this incident must be checked. Electrical appliances, when it comes to maybe illegal connections, there now, and beef up the education that has to be done there. Maybe if it's going to be done monthly, maybe within quarterly, annually, I don't know, but maybe they have their own plan. But I think that the education must go down well.
Education is always key, but education can do to a certain extent just within the metropolis have been the wiring, how the whole place is made up in terms of the electrical connection. If there's a system problem, then you can only educate people to a certain extent. And if we are not always aware each individual fires, and we are not able to draw a pattern to see whether or not it is indeed to what extent are you educating, because be clear in your mind, because you have enough data to be able to draw a pattern to know what exactly the situation is. And that's why I will rest on my previous point that we need a full-scale investigation into the causes. But just to touch a bit on the compensation for the local footwear manufacturers, I think that it's a good call they've made, if authorities can. Workers or these companies have workers under them, so there's that rippling effect that it may have on a lot of households. But I will also come back to the point that even if when this compensation comes in, it may not be enough. I recently spoke to a woman who was a victim of the order. Said that her business was to the tune of about 100,000 Ghana cedis. She was compensated to about 20,000 Ghana cedis. I mean, look at the government has done
Ghana cedis difference.
80,000 Ghana cedis difference. She appreciates that the government has done its best, but outbreak, it tells you that we are better off if we work hard towards prevention. Even if it means we are spending a lot on prevention, and we cut down on these fire outbreaks, then we cut down on these compensations, and we can use the money that we usually use for compensation for other things.
Exactly, because even the Ghana National Fire Service needs logistics. The money into some items that is being needed by the Ghana National Fire Service to fight the situations like this very well. But then again, as the citizens, or we the citizens, we will do our part, but the institution that is mandated to check all these things, that is the Ghana National Fire Service, please, you must be up and doing. Let's move away from fire incident situations and let's go in this insert.
The Ghana Police Service has interdicted one of its officers for negligently Olivia E.T. Adiku, head of Public Affairs Unit at the Western Regional Police Command. The rifle, according to the police, was returned by the driver of the said vehicle, who also extorted the officer with a rapid deployment force, Takrady, in the Western region, has been referred to a the driver are said to be
this is a very serious. Even your rifle in a commercial vehicle. This is serious.
It should be treated with all forms of seriousness, and I agree with the police hierarchy first for interdicting this officer. I mean, some may argue, well, the gun was retained at the long run, so nobody got hurt. But in this situation, what if? It's a major point. What if
it wasn't returned? And maybe someone picked it and used it for something else.
What if it wasn't returned? What if it had landed in the hands
of a wrong person?
And we are in this country, we've always complained about proliferations of arms in the system. A lot of these gun violence that we've recorded brought out its figures from time to time, noting that gun violence in itself continued to increase year on. And these are issues that we would not want to joke with. If in a strict system, people are still accessing guns, and then we have a situation where a police officer negligently leaves the gun in a investigations
will unravel
that as to whether any of their codes of conduct or any law investigations will. I think it's a being interdicted.
And also when it comes to the extortion, well, issues of that, I think the police.
Well, these are allegations against the officer.
Yes.
We'll hear from him whether it's true or not. Conclusions from the investigation will tell us.
But the police officers who are in control of these rifles, at least, just be careful, because you may not know where this will land. And if it had landed in the hands of a wrong person, we will be having issues as of now. Let's take you to Tamale, because a pro-NDC youth group, they're named Total Force, is not excited about pleasure that insert.
A pro-NDC youth group in Tamale by name Total Force on Saturday embarked on a demonstration and subsequently burnt car tires at the party's regional office to express their displeasure over the change in the party's leadership in Parliament. Our Northern Regional correspondent Dinah Ingwan reports.
Party office, they burnt car tires. Ibrahim Dana reading their petition.
Disrespect on the part of Asiru Ketia and Fifi Kweti. How could they have disregarded the advice that it is your responsibility to carry out approach to carrying out unity at all times. We hate nobody, but we believe the leaders of NDC today major asset to the NDC party, who must not be sidelined for any individual gain or personal score settling. the NDC party will need their best in the quest for victory in 2024 elections, where Haruna Idrisu is indispensable.
The Northern Regional
I'll receive this. The petition will be submitted to the next, and whatever actions you want them to take, they might take it into consideration. The very person who is in this to all of us. So just ask. So exercise patience for now. Whatever you people are calling in for, our leaders will speak to you.
A number of groups within the NDC party have expressed their displeasure about the leadership's changes in Parliament. But then again, the Council of Elders is asking them to relax as everything is being worked on. We understand that a meeting will be held this week, hopefully, between the leadership in NDC and also the minority, that is the NDC group, will be having a meeting to at least judge on how these issues can be solved amicably.
These are very experienced hands in Ghana's politics, and I mean, if you look at the chairman of the National Democratic Congress, Johnson Asiedin Ketia, he has been a member of Parliament before, General Secretary, arguably the longest General Secretary
17 years.
In Ghana's for Republican Constitution, now chairman. I may want to believe that he knows what he's doing, strategizing. But a lot of people who are talking about this make the point of how to forge unity with your decision. And perhaps maybe this meeting that is scheduled to take place this week will take care of some of these things. For me, my only concern has to do with the issues about the lack of consultation. Because if they make the point that some key individuals were consulted. But if you're taking a decision for a caucus, this is Parliament, and this is the legislative arm of government. A caucus changing their leadership. And if any of these claims are true, that you take this decision without consulting members of the caucus, I think it's very problematic and raises even some constitutional issues as to whether or not, because you sponsored their going into Parliament, you can have a say, or you can choose for them who becomes the leader. But I know that the NDC would work towards this, and the reason they've given is that they believe that the 2024 general election is going to be on the economy. They think that if you have Kesela Tuforsen leading the charge because of his economic and finance background, they are better off. It's only time will tell whether or not indeed that strategy will work, because there are a lot of people who argue that you don't necessarily have to be the head to push the agenda of the party or of the group when it comes to the economy, because you are also aware that Parliament is very procedural in nature, and for everything that you will do, you have to show what procedure allows you to do so. Kesela Tuforsen has indicated that he's been in Parliament for 14 years. For 4 terms, and he's in his 4th term. And I think that anybody who has been in Parliament that long should have some form of understanding of the procedural issues in Parliament. Somebody like Agyemang Sabonsu, he is not a lawyer, but by virtue of the number of years he has spent in Parliament, when he's speaking, you understand that there's someone who knows the procedure of Parliament. Perhaps it may work, it may not work, But all depends on time.
But it's also been argued that Haruna took over from someone. But anyway, then again, the NDC will hold a meeting this week. Hopefully, we are going to get you abreast with everything that is going to happen in that quarters. And that may iron out all the issues that all the factions within the party are having concerning the change in leadership in Parliament. You can join us with your comments, suggestions, and contributions via WhatsApp line on 0204 447033. You're still watching CNR Extra on City TV. Still to come. Goma West Education Directorate in the Central Region moves to address the teacher deficits in the district following recent poor performance of BEC candidates. Kindly stay with us. We're back with more stories.
It's City on the Go. You don't have to miss any of your favorite television and radio shows on City TV and City FM. Enjoy thrilling content from your world of great television and relevant radio at your convenience. Subscribe to CityTube on YouTube. Turn on your notification button and receive prompts on our live streaming sessions and new content uploads. For easy access to the CityTube page, scan the barcode on your screens. Subscribe to the CityTube page and voila! Unlimited content awaits you. Don't forget to subscribe to CityTube for amazing content from City TV and City FM.
Many thanks for staying with us here on CNR Extra. Let's go to the Bono region where the residents there are asking the authorities to, as a matter of urgency, fix a section of the Bono Regional Hospital traffic light road because of the danger it poses to residents in the area.
Now, users of the Bono Regional Hospital traffic light road to the Nana Bosoma market are urging authorities to urgently fix a section of the road which has been eaten up by erosion, exposing pedestrians and more especially children to danger. Despite the defect, heavy vehicles continue to use the stretch as the situation could compound the problem. City News' Michael Sapong-Mfum reports.
Due to poor drainage system on the stretch, erosion has eaten up a portion of the Bono Regional Hospital traffic light stretch to the Nana Bosoma market close to the livestock market in Sunyani, exposing pedestrians, especially children, to danger as they could fall into the hole created by the erosion. The erosion has also affected the metal barricade that serves as a protection for vehicles and pedestrians. The drainage at the place is not working, thus allowing water to wash away the soil anytime it rains. More worrying is that the stretch is one of the busiest roads in the Sunyani municipality. Vehicles from Brekum, Domai Nkru, and Drobo, who usually avoid the central business usage of Sunyani, usually use this road. Users of the road are thus urging the authorities to act swiftly to prevent any disaster from happening at that portion of the road.
Yeah, 200 mumra mehema ya sa dachi de bebanya ya ka obi anfi wa na be mo aba o ma be hweko asam to yi ni person be hwe o mu hwa mo kwa ye nte hwibiom de bia se ya o ma de se ya kwa no ano no se ya de bia e be hu se de bia so kwa nyina na enyi ni kwa na nim nso na twanti akaba na nka adidi akokwan nti se bi ye sre MC ne Ghana paying for o mu hwe when you Yamenika, but I be an Aminian Amibra, or no, now wonderful Sunam, no dear him. One who bet much money, job, and none of the car, Babam.
You, where the empire for any American, say. Yes, Rawom. Yan Cham may be being Siansa. And Mofrana, your post school bar. Baby, or Mudi America, you are more for Mudi America, or Muni Mr. Bibidaho. Auntie, Yaniba Basono, Nancolano, America, baby, or the Agorabo, and Mr. One in yet. See, I'm trying to Niba Banasonana, Acolana, Adia Betuno. Auntie, a duo sana, me up a shimmet preoccupé. Auntie Miss Ramping for Kakra me wa can say, as I say, or mobile won't try my being Siansa. Now, I swear no cry, Jano to true and intina, honor. Ah, yeah, you Kakra, say. Yes, sir, Suana Janke, did you call a dear Tokamu Hokora?
Okay, let me say Momodine because baby not baby one ni papa ho. And Koraso school for so far. And castle so far. Tini I send baby teso moye.
I asked the municipal chief executive for Sunyan East municipality, answer Kumi, what his outfit is doing about the situation.
You know, yes, we have identified that defect. That is when you are getting to the Latter-day Saints Church on your left. There is such a defect there that has been brought to the notice of the municipal urban roads engineer. But we have had a lengthy discussion on that. And fortunately, there is one secondary city project which no time will begin. And that has to do with a storm drain that was started way back during President Kufuor's time. They constructed the storm drain up to a certain point, but we have added it to our secondary city project for this particular year, and that is part of the UDG 3. And so the explanation was that once we begin that project, it will help to correct that defect. And fortunately, it will not be so long when we then begin the process, procurement process to kickstart that project. And so when that happens, I believe that we'll be able to have that particular defect corrected.
Users of this stretch in Sunyani are urging authorities to act swiftly to ensure that there's no disaster at this place. From Sunyani, I am Marcus Aponifum for City News.
That's a very serious situation, but there is a similar situation in Yendi where dust is making it, or the dusty nature of the road is making it very difficult for motorists who ply on a stretch there. Let's bring you that insight.
Commuters who travel on the Yendi-Zabzugu-Tatale Road in the northern region lament the bad nature of the road and want authorities to urgently address the situation. Because of the bad state of the roads, passenger cars are not many on the road. Tricycles, popularly called yellow, are the most preferred means of transport. Our northern regional correspondent, Mohammed Aminu Alabira, takes a look at the means of transport on the Yendi-Zabzugu-Tatale stretch.
Safe transport is one sure means of enabling engagement of people. Reaching one destination safely surely depends on the means by which one travels. Commuters on the Yendi-Zabzugu-Tatale route say the terrible nature of the road makes traveling on the stretch tedious. Aside the many potholes, the road is also dusty, a situation commuters say affects their health. Unlike in the south, where cars are the most preferred means of traveling, on the Yendi-Zabzugu-Tatale stretch, tricycles, popularly called yellow, and motorkins are the most common means of transport. Commuters and passengers say because of safety and a hurry to reach their destination, they prefer yellow to cars. Some road users City News interacted with have been lamenting the bad state of the road.
Frankly speaking, from Tamale to some places better, but from there coming to Yendi to Saga is very bad. We need your help. If the government will help us, because me, my place is like that, it's border town. So many people pass through that road. It's very busy road. You are just begging. The road is very bad. I'm not telling you that speaking about 5% of problem we can put. And moreover, the road is not good. You can move the road more than the vehicle. Okay. That's one of the things. Okay.
We've been suffering from this road, from Zabzugu to Yendi. When you are to follow the road to there, it's not easy because the road is not well, and we've been begging our leaders to work hard.
It's very comfortable for the passengers. When you be in the yellow, it's very comfortable. You feeling better conditions, better ventilation coming inside, so you feel normal. And besides, when you check the road is not good here. So when you be in the yellow, you can sit comfortable. For the car, when you be in the car, it will be very difficult maybe for car to send you to your house.
Some passengers in the yellow have also been speaking to City News. The passengers say they usually get very dirty and have to change their dress when they reach their destination. The motorking drivers who ply the road tell City News they are able to maneuver their way safely on the pothole-ridden road. Hence, the preference by passengers.
This road, up to date, they have not do it fast. They keep on only one place, so that is why they enter motorking and they did not enter car. So like they do the road fast. They would have enter car so that and reach their places fast, because they are going to market and they want fast too. And because of the road, that is why they enter the motor.
Yellow is for the town use, but because of the bad nature of the road, so if they take a car from Yendi to South, so it will take them at least 3 hours. At least 3 hours to take them. For yellow here, because you can use it to swap, it's comfortable for the passengers to be using it. So that's why we are also using it.
Though the road is under construction, the passengers feel the work is not progressing as it should. For drivers on the stretch, the nature of the road affects their vehicles, thus increasing the cost of operation. The tricycles charge 30 cedis from Kalkali to Yendi, and they attribute it to the high cost of fuel.
Also because of the price of the fuel, because if we don't do that, you go and come and then you can't save anything for yourself. Okay. So because of the fuel, we take each person 30 cedis.
As you can see me, anybody who travels on this route, this is how dusty the person is going to be. For City News, Mohammed Aminu M. Aladira.
Looking at the dust laborers are collected after traveling on that road tells you how serious the situation is on the Yendi-Zabzugu Tatale road in the northern region. But first, let's discuss what happened or what is in the Bono region, that is the Bono Regional Hospital Traffic Lights Road to the Nana Mbosoma Market. It's a ditch. This is very serious, and it looks like from what has been discussed, the MC in the area or the authorities are aware of this. This thing is in the pipeline. We are working on it. We are working on it. We are working on it till there is a disaster. That is when you find all the authorities running to that place to either commensurate with the family that has lost some people, or giving out money to the family for a burial. Why don't you do this as soon as possible? And it's because there's a crash barrier there. Though the crash barrier can save some motorists, it can't save every vehicle. A truck can skid off and get into that place. The road appurtenances, I think it has to be worked on. It's something that is very important that the various authorities, before we find some casualties happening there.
Well, it's quite troubling. And what I know when it comes to policy is that usually when it comes to policy direction, you try as much as possible to maintain what you have or better it and work on others. Now, if you look at Sunyane, the Bono regional capital, is been noted generally as the cleanest city in Ghana.
Yeah.
In 2007, there was that award. A lot of us who come from that part of the country usually pride ourselves with that. And if this my idea of policy direction is anything to go by, now in a country where in most of our cities we are saddled with sanitation issues, and they have one city that has been tagged as the cleanest city, the realistic thing that you would expect is that you would champion on that and make it your ideal city when it comes to sanitation issues. But here we are, no proper drainage, to the extent that erosion has eaten into the road, and a potential danger for children who live in this society, in this community and in this city, and even motorists who ply there.
I don't even know if street lights are working there.
If not, you know, I mean, it's like most cities in Ghana, you have pockets of street lights working, but a greater number of the street lights are not working. Our correspondent Michael Saponifum, he's done a lot of reports from the Abysim Road to the main market road. The roads are not working from towards the Odomasi Road. Most of the street lights, they are not working. And generally, the people of Sunyani often have complained of neglect. You remember in 2022, there was a protest by a group known as the Sunyani Youth Development Association.
That have been neglected by government.
That have been neglected by government. That a lot of projects have been abandoned. I think that it's important and necessary that government would address some of these issues. But for me, I think that the tag on Sunyani being the cleanest city is one that government and relevant authorities should have capitalized on and make it your ideal city so that others can replicate. But here's the case: it's not only drainage issues. There are issues with waste disposal, a whole lot of issues, and that tag of Sunyani being the cleanest city, if we are looking at it carefully, I think it is even losing that tag.
And also a quick one on the Tatale Road. That one has to be dealt with because the sector minister has declared this year as action year of roads. It's a very sad situation, driving on the stretch and becoming dusty afterwards. This is still CNR Extra on CCTV, still to come. Goma West Education Directorate in the Central Region moves to address the teacher deficit in the district following recent poor performance of BEC candidates. Many stay with us. We'll be back with more stories.
City TV is live on DSTV. Go to channel 363. On GoTV, access City TV on channel 182. On a digital TV, please press the menu button on the remote control and run a new search on your TV. Take note that without an antenna, you cannot access City TV on your television. City TV can be accessed on a free-to-air digital box like the GoTV and Star Times box. City TV, it's your world.
grateful for staying with us here on CNR Extra. You can join us with your comments, submissions, and thoughts via WhatsApp line 0204447033. Let's go to the Goma West District, and that directorate there, the education directorate there in the Central Region, has moved in to address teacher deficit in the district following recent poor performance of some BEC candidates there. Let's bring you that insight.
The Goma West Education Directorate is worried about the performance of BEC candidates in the district in the last 2 years. The Directorate says the performance dropped from 69.86% in 2021 to 61% in 2022, a situation they describe as worrying. Central Regional Correspondent Calvis Tete has more in the following report.
The Goma West District Education Directorate is worried about the increasing rate of attrition in the district, a situation it says has negatively impacted the overall basic education certificate examination of students for the past 2 years. The overall BECE performance of pupil took a downward turn from 69.86% in 2021 to 61% in 2022. The Directorate believes inadequate number of teachers in the district is largely to be blamed for the situation. Currently, there is a 450 teacher deficit in the district per the records of the Education Directorate. Other factors such as inadequate desk for pupils, unbefitting infrastructure, and unavailability of electricity in some cases is believed to be a demotivating factor for pupils. At Komwa Ebutia, only 5 pupils have enrolled for the upper primary according to the Directorate, and these pupils are worried about the challenges.
We lack teachers, and if you go to our classroom, they are not good at all, and also we don't have good chairs. And if you go to classes like class 4, one chair, 5 people, 4 people, 3 people are sitting on it, so the students will not feel comfortable in learning.
There are not enough teachers in the school to teach. One teacher is teaching about 3 to 4 subjects, and it is putting more stress on him. It is affecting our academic. The learning of ICT is very difficult for us because a topic like PowerPoint application, we need practice, and there are no electricity, and even the laptops, we are not having some, so we are finding that one very difficult.
We don't have laptops and computers, and also we need exercise books and textbooks because of the new curriculum. The dual desks, 3 of us will be sitting on one desk. So I want the government to bring us new ones, so that everybody will be comfortable in the class.
The teacher attrition rate is high in the district. This is because the district lacks inadequate social amenities. District Director of Education, Madam Cecilia Abuaje, is disturbed and wants the Ghana Education Service to post adequate teaching staff to the district.
I've been here barely 5 or 6 months now. And when I came, the report that reached me was that teachers here are just living. And even my officers here don't understand why the teachers are living like that. So when I went into it, I saw that at the time I reached here, the teacher attrition rate was 325 at the time I reported here. And as we are speaking, because of releases and assurances, we are now more than 450 now, teachers that has left the district. And we have seen that that is affecting the district a lot, because previously, every year, their BEC results, they move a bit higher. But last year, which was 2021, the result dropped from 69.8 something to 61%, meaning there have been a drop of 8 point something percent, which is a very big drop. When the teachers come here, they are complaining of the roads leading to the various villages, accommodation problems.
And of course, poor infrastructure comes to deplorable roads, accommodation issues, and a number of them that is not going to make the teachers comfortable certainly they will vanish. They wouldn't run away. They will vanish. You wouldn't see them there again.
I mean,
though they will be eager to get the fact that they have to be posted to these areas.
Issues of attrition rate, we know the reasons. These teachers are not paid well. So if there's any opportunity elsewhere, they will go. Those who decide to stay,
they will.
They are basically frustrated by the system, lack of teaching materials, no accommodation facilities. And so for most of these teachers, the slightest of opportunity,
they will vanish.
That come to
so
them,
I
they
think
will
that
leave.
if this has to be dealt, it has to be dealt from the grassroots,
yes,
down there,
and
making things comfortable for these teachers, for teaching and learning to go through.
And for me, my concern is that, you see, these students in Gomwa, we will expect them to compete with students who are from very good schools, private schools. I won't mention any school. And even if they are teachers, you know that the mode of teaching in these schools, it's not at par with what some of these students or pupils in these A-list private schools are getting. So even when they are teachers, when it comes to competition, they are not able to compete at the same level, because certain skills that the student who went to a good private school will get, the confidence, oratory skills, reasoning skills, debate skills, will be absent in that of the student who went to the public school, and that we need to work towards catching up. But here's the case: we don't even have teachers. One teacher is combining maths, science, ICT.
Because the teachers are not making themselves available in these schools, because like what we indicated, I wouldn't want to go to a place where I'll find it very difficult to teach students, and I know that I have to get some form of accommodation. I wouldn't be sleeping. Well, you can sacrifice, but maybe they have to be met halfway, so that it will be like, okay, if I'm doing my bit for the country is also doing its best for us. But then again, the Ministry of Education, the Ghana Education Service, and the other stakeholders involved must check this thing. Let's bring you some comments on our YouTube page. Some of them, that is from Godwin Yao Anyim, who says that the rate at which residents are recording fire burning their abodes, that is their homes, is too alarming. And also, he also made mention of the issue of the destruction of roads, and he says that he's attributing it to the poor construction that is being done by some contractors. This is how we end today's edition of CNR Extra on CCTV. My name is Philip Lartey. I did this with Hanson Agyemang. Many thanks for your time, my brother. Many thanks for your time as well as you watch us. Make your time, same time tomorrow, watch us on CNR Extra. Until then, keep watching CCTV.